Okay, so I've glued and clamped this piece in, and it's nailed and glued, and this is the top part of the door, but as you can see it's quite badly broken, and I actually don't have the other splinter here, so I'm going to have to remake this whole piece, and then the door will close. So yeah, stay tuned and I will make that and then pop it in there. So I've made this piece, which is the top of the door. That's a replacement. And then I realized that there is a piece missing here. So if we go back to the bowl of spare parts, I think it's that. Yes. So I'm going to glue that piece in first and clamp it, and then I will put the new door piece in. But first we glue this. Alright, we're going to glue this piece up and glue, quite difficult to do this while filming, but I'm going to glue all along here, glue all this up all along here. As you can see, the wall moves. I'm going to put a nail, I'll nail it and I will glue this piece, doing it now, and then that's all going to be glued and clamped, and put a bit more glue on there. Right, that bit's clamped. Now I'll just turn the glue off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nail, I'm going to nail this wall in here and here, and when this splinter's dry, I'm going to put a nail in here, but at the moment I need to get that splinter to dry. So we'll nail this wall up. Right, so these pieces have dried overnight at the top, so we can take these clamps off now. Take that one off. That's all nice and secure. This bit down here's got to dry. It all's been glued and nailed up. Okay, we'll take this clamp off. Let's try and do this one-handed. Right. Yeah. Okay, that piece is dried, and now this door. I'll take this off. Right, that's all dry, so that splinter we'll put back in. So what I'm going to do now is I made up the door lintel, because the old one, piece missing, so we're going to put this one in now. That one's ready to go in. We will glue and nail that one in, but I'll give these little bits here a sand up here first. Okay, I've nailed that in. Now I'll just clean the glue clean the glue off. Let that dry, and then we will probably plane it a bit and tidy up around the edges. But as far as a broken door frame, I think that's looking much better. Just got to get that little door plain so it works. And I want to get this green stain off. I might even take these doors off actually, and then refit them once I've done the flooring. Right, so I have put glue all over that piece of flooring, the upstairs hallway. The glue I'm using, I use a water-based glue. It's a very, very strong woodworking water-based glue, but it means that in the future it can be, you know, warmed with a heat gun and removed, or with a little bit of water and heat. I don't use two-part epoxy glues. Someone has used a really heavy-duty builder's glue on this at some stage. Some of that I'll have to try and get off. You want to try and use things that can be reversed. And quite frankly, two-part glues on wood, especially old wood, they're a bit glass-like and they don't really kind of work. But anyway, we'll pop this in, and then I'll nail it, and then we will have an upstairs hallway. Okay, so I have nailed that into this piece here. And I've cleaned the glue off. It's clamped here. And I'll probably put a couple of nails in here, but when the skirting boards goes in as well, that will really secure that, but that is in there really firmly. I'm very happy with that. So we've got an upstairs floor, banister glued there, and a new lintel on the door, and this whole shattered piece is rebuilt. So now I'm going to glue up this piece. I probably won't put that in yet. I'll wait till everything dries, but I will get this banister glued up and clamped. Okay, so these pieces have dried overnight, and I'm going to remove these clamps. So this is great. I'm going to put a nail in here now. That's all lovely and dry and firm. This is lovely and firm. Door lintel is in place, and the hallway floor is really solid. Happy with that. This piece of banister, excuse my arm, is dry. I'm going to take that clip off. That's now nice and firm. And this railing and banister is all glued up and dry. That will just go in there. But I'm not going to pop it in yet because I want to do some work on this floor, and this will be in the way. So I might put that in after I've done the floor. I'm not quite sure. But today I'd like to work on this window. This is being clamped and is all glued and nailed. I'm going to work on, I want to make some cross pieces to go in it to make it look more like an old Victorian window. Yeah, let me crack on. So rummaging in the spare parts, I have found these, which are the frame for the rear of the hallway window. So they need to be cleaned up, and then I'm going to nail and glue those pieces on. I've cut some pine down on the bandsaw into strips, and then what I've done is I've cut little notches in the frame for these to go into like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut notches here and here, here and here, and then do some cross pieces. I've made these up and I've cut the notches and glued them in. These here have all been notched and glued. I've used these really cute little paper clips, bulldog clips actually, little bulldog clips, to hold the whole lot together. So that's the frame of the window made. So there's the window frame. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cornice on. These are the pieces for the outside architectural cornice, which goes along the top of the doll's house and slots into these notches. There's quite a bit of old glue I'm going to clean off, and some of the little architectural elements have been previously glued in with like a heavy epoxy, one of those epoxies that swell up. It's a builder's glue, which I'm going to heat that up with a heat gun and remove them, and then just glue them back down properly. And as you can see on the ends, there is quite a bit of old glue I'm going to remove, and some splits. We will glue this on, and then hopefully be successful. Right. Okay, so I have prepared all of this cornice, and I'm going to go ahead and glue, and there's some little screws which are hidden in there, which I'm going to screw it back on and glue and then reattach. And this one here, the front piece, actually has these notches there that all goes into. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so the cornice has been all prepared, glued and clamped all around the edge. What I'm going to do is, once it's all dry, then I'm going to put these little final details back on. In fact, some of them were covering screws, I think you can see there, which helps it to be screwed on. So I had to undo some of them to screw it all back on. But there you go, that's all clamped. Just, yeah, looking good. We let that dry now. And while that's drying, I'm going to work on the doors.